Have you ever wondered what happens to your code after you hit refresh? How does your browser actually run your HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and how is RAM involved? Today, we're going to break it down in simple terms so you can understand what happens under the hood every time you load a web page. Let's start with HTML. When your browser loads a page, the HTML file is parsed line by line. The browser builds what's called the DOM or Document Object Model, essentially a tree representation of all the elements on the page. Each node in the DOM is stored in RAM so that your browser knows exactly what elements exist and where they are. Next, CSS. The browser reads your CSS files and creates the CSS OM or CSS Object Model. This is like a map of all styles and how they apply to your DOM nodes. Every CSS rule that your page uses also occupies RAM. The browser combines the DOM and CSS OM into something called the render tree, which it uses to figure out exactly how to paint your page. Now JavaScript. When the browser encounters your JavaScript, it creates variables, functions, and objects in memory. These live in RAM while your page is active. Functions are stored as executable blocks and variables are stored in memory locations so the browser can read and write values quickly. Think of RAM as a temporary workspace. Whenever you run let's score equals 10 or document.querySelector div, these values and objects live in RAM. The browser's JavaScript engine manages this memory, allocating space when needed and freeing it when variables go out of scope or the page is closed. You might wonder, doesn't this memory fill up? Modern browsers use garbage collection to automatically free up RAM when variables or objects are no longer needed. This is why refreshing a page often clears memory. The browser resets the DOM, CSS OM, and JS variables, freeing up space for new data. Understanding how HTML, CSS, and JavaScript use RAM helps you write more efficient code, avoid memory leaks, and build faster websites. Even as a beginner, knowing that your code lives in memory while running gives you insight into why optimizing loops, variables, and DOM operations is so important. If this video helped you, make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video.